Hey guys, welcome back. It's 8 a.m. and it's a beautiful morning here in Japan. We just left central Tokyo to go to Otsuka, which might have given you an idea of what we're doing. This should be special. The atelier we're visiting today is that of one of the hottest and most unique watch brands in the world. Today we're visiting Otsuka Lotec. Otsuka Lotec is, without a doubt, the rising star of Japanese watchmaking. In 2024, one of its models won the GPHG Challenge Prize, a prestigious award given to the best watch costing less than $3,000, catapulting this gold brand and its founder, designer and engineer Jiro Katayama to international stardom. Their watches are currently some of the most coveted pieces in the world, thanks to their steampunk industrial designs and unique mechanical displays powered by complex in-house modules. But what does Otsuka Lotec even mean? Let's break it down. Otsuka is simply the Tokyo neighborhood where the brand is based, while Lotec refers to the low-tech mechanical philosophy behind their creations. And today, we are right in the small Otsuka workshop where it all started back in 2008, when a young Jiro Katayama, then a car and product designer with a fascination for everything mechanical, purchased his first lathe. And with George Daniels' book Watchmaking and the Power of the Internet, he started to play around crafting watch cases. Katayama told me that he actually wanted to make cars, but unfortunately, or fortunately for us, he couldn't find a way to set up a one-man vehicle production line in this workshop, so he switched to something he found equally interesting but more manageable: watches. Over the next years, his experience and machinery collection continued to grow until 2012, when he officially launched Otsuka Lotec with the number 5. The brand then slowly built a cult following, eventually catching the attention of Aji Masaoka, Japan's most famous independent watchmaker and also the owner of Kurono Tokyo, who offered to help Katayama. Thanks to this collaboration, the day-to-day production of Otsuka Lotec is now supported by Precision Watch Tokyo, the company behind Kurono. So you could say that Otsuka and Kurono are actually somewhat related, although still separate and with very different concepts behind them. These days, Katayama is mainly concerned with design and prototyping. He has recently been busy with a more complex project that I will show you soon. So now let's start. We're gonna check out all of Otsuka Lotec's watches in numerical order. Just be aware that numbers 1 to 4 are missing because they were early prototypes that, as far as I know, were gifted to friends and family. First is the Otsuka Lotec number 5 Kai, an incredibly unique skeletonized retrofuturistic satellite hour watch. This is how it works. 3 rotating hour discs slowly orbit around and they all combine in turn with a fixed minute index plate on the right side of the dial to tell you the time. The right side has been chosen on purpose to maximize visibility when wearing long sleeves, as it would be the first to pick out from under a jacket cuff. The functioning of this whole mechanism is really mesmerizing. It is based on an automatic Miyota 90 S5 movement, topped with an Otsuka Lotec in-house satellite model that utilizes the smallest ball bearing in the world, 1.5mm in diameter. It is all under a high-profile box sapphire crystal to enable visibility of all the moving parts and gears from different angles. The hour discs slowly dance around the dial, but they rotate instantly twice an hour, like a jumping hour mechanism, when they hit the ball bearing roller located at 8 o'clock. There is also a smaller second disc at 5 o'clock that is always in motion. As you can see, the whole watch has been designed to be incredibly visually engaging, with an emphasis on the space between parts to create an almost architectural feeling to the piece. It also features Japanese kanji and katakana writings reading Otsuka Lotec, Tokyo, model number 5 Kai, giving it some extra flavor. Now, some specs. This beautiful 316L stainless steel watch measures 40.5mm in diameter and 12.2mm thick, with only 7.6 coming from the low-profile case and 4.6 coming from the crystal. The case has a straight grain finish that gives it a really robust utilitarian look with a solid case back, as the whole movement can be seen from the front anyway. The 4 o'clock crown is also noteworthy. Not only is it quite large, but it also has an interesting deep diamond knurling pattern that has become one of the brand's signatures. The 22mm wide lugs come fitted with a calfskin leather strap custom made for the brand, with 2 distinct ridges running across its whole length. The watch has 30 meters of water resistance and 40 hours of power reserve. Personally, I really like the number 5. It is my favorite Otsuka Lotec, at least among the ones I can actually afford. It looks quite busy, and as such, it is not necessarily easy to wear, but it is not meant to be. It is telling a different story, one of mechanical mastery, and for that goal, it is perfect. Also, as someone that lives in colder climates and wears long sleeves a lot, moving the time display on the right side is a little genius move, as satellite hour watches usually display the time at 12 or 6 o'clock, requiring full visibility of the watch to tell the time. If I was to pick an Otsuka Lotec, this would be the one. Overall, the number 5 Kai offers incredible value, with a price of 750,000 yen, approximately $4,800. And although this technically makes it the brand's most expensive watch, I think it is still a relatively small price to pay for such a unique and well-designed piece. Next, we have the Otsuka Lotec number 6, the model that won the 2024 GPHG Challenge Prize for the best watch of the year under $3,000. This piece really put the brand on the map. It is a stunning industrial retrograde watch inspired by Japanese meters and gauges. This is how it works. It has a fan-shaped display where the hour and minute hands slowly glide from 0 to 12 and 60 respectively, left to right, showing you the time. Once they reach the end, they jump back to 0 instantly and start again. The retrograde complication is usually seen in high-end watches, but Otsuka Lotec has managed to make it accessible through an in-house module added to an automatic Miyota 1915 movement. Its overall architecture is quite interesting and peculiar. To make the watch thinner, the retrograde hour and minute hands have been placed coaxially in the metal base at 6 o'clock, which was made to be flashed with a custom sapphire crystal. The dial has been fixed to the movement in order to sit at the same level as the bezel, creating quite an interesting visual effect. The watch also features a rotating second disc right in the center, and a date window at 4 o'clock. This watch has been really designed to resemble industrial gauges, with lots of kanji and katakana writings on the dial reading Mechanical Model Number 6, Toshima Tokyo, Otsuka Lotec, and water resistant for daily use. An additional 8 screws around the bezel help bring this unique steampunk design together. Specs-wise, this is quite a big watch. The 316L stainless steel case measures 42.6mm in diameter and 11.8mm thick, with the brand's signature roaster grain finish. However, it has slim wire lugs, so it wears a bit smaller compared to other watches this size. It comes with the brand's iconic custom 22mm double-ridge calfing leather strap. On the back, you will find a display caseback showcasing an industrially finished Miyota movement. The crown at 2 o'clock has the usual deep diamond knurling pattern. The watch has 30 meters of water resistance and 40 hours of power reserve. In my opinion, the number 6 is Otsuka Lotec's most iconic watch. It is the piece that put the brands on most people's radars, and I think that given its industrial gauge inspiration, design-wise it perfectly represents what the brand is about. Analog, low-tech, functional. However, mainly due to its size, I would say it is not my favorite model. Aesthetically, I also find the dial to be quite simple. Now, don't get me wrong, this is by choice and it works flawlessly for what Katayama is trying to achieve. It is just not for me, given the other options in the collection and my personal preferences. But I have to say that price-wise, the retrograde number 6 is a steal, coming in at only 484,000 yen, around $3,100, just a fraction of any other retrograde watch with this level of design and finish. And as the last watch from the base collection, we have the Otsuka Lotec number 7.5, a one-of-a-kind jumping hour watch inspired by vintage 3-lens turret cameras. It has a minimalist industrial steel case with 3 small openings showing respectively a jumping hour mechanism, a minutes disc, and a seconds disc. Honestly, with this piece the time is so easy to read, I don't even think I have to explain it to you. But I just want to point out the jumping element. As the minutes reach 60, the hour number instantly jumps forward to next. This incredibly unique looking watch has been made possible by an in-house jumping hour module added on top of an automatic Miyota 82S5 movement. It uses a custom fisheye lens to enlarge the hours, which really makes you feel like you're staring down a camera. The overall case design also really complements this concept. Unlike other Otsuka Lotec watches, which are visually quite open and inviting, the number 7.5 is really closed off, limiting you to 3 little peepholes. It feels like you're spying into a little steel black box you're not meant to see. To further enhance this visual effect, the distance between the case and the module is kept to a minimum. The decoration of the case is also very bare bones compared to the other models from the brand with their kanji writing. It only features Otsuka Lotec in Latin characters. Let's talk specs, because the number 7.5 is really interesting. The 316L stainless steel case measures only 40mm in diameter and 11.2mm thick. Technically, it's the smallest watch in the lineup, but the turret protrusions actually push it all the way up to 14.8mm. This sounds like a lot, but it has such a peculiar case that you don't really feel it while wearing it. It also has a unique finish that mixes sandblasting with the usual rough straight grain. The lugs are narrower than in other models, at only 20mm, fitted with the usual style of custom double-ridge calfkin strap. On the back, you will find a display caseback showing a quite intentionally raw movement with a minimal industrial finish. On the side at 4 o'clock, it has a uniquely shaped crown, decorated with a familiar diamond knurling pattern. The watch comes rated with 30 meters of water resistance and 40 hours of power reserve. I think the number 7.5 is really cool. It reminds me of high horology jumping hour watches, such as the Henry Winston Opus 3, but with a different creative angle, of course. The turret camera-inspired design is just so well executed. As a film buff that is specifically into old movies, it speaks to me. Just by looking at it, I can really feel Katayama's love for mechanical machines. Overall for me, this is a close second within Otsuka Lotec's lineup, just behind the number 5. I always like jumping hours in theory, simply because of how legible they are, but I find most of them quite flat, but this one definitely isn't. Priced at 396,000 yen, around 2,500 US dollars, the number 7.5 is Otsuka Lotec's most affordable watch, but don't be fooled, it is a masterpiece in minimalist and industrial design, with nothing else like it in the world. Quickly, before we move on to the brand's most special model, we need to address the current absence of the number 8. Katayama and his team have told me that this will be announced in the coming months, so stay tuned for more information from the brand on the release of what's likely to be a completely new and unique watch. And at last, we have the new Otsuka Lotec number 9, one of the most complex watches ever made in Japan. It features jumping hour, rewinding minutes, hour chiming, power reserve, and a tourbillon, all within a 30mm rectangular case. This is how it all works. The tourbillon, one of the most advanced complications in watchmaking, is the heart of this watch. It rotates the escapement around 360 degrees while ticking the seconds to counter the effects of stationary gravity. This in turn advances the rewinding minute half disc in the middle of the dial. This sort of retrograde mechanism goes straight all the way back to 0 once it reaches 60, and that's when the magic happens. The jumping hour in the top right corner of the dial dashes forward, while a little hammer in the bottom left is released, hitting a pipeline-shaped gong that winds around the whole case, emitting a crisp industrial chime. The current hours and minutes are also illuminated from below by a luminescent block, and on the bottom right a slim piston showcases the power reserve level. This is such an impressive watch, and although technically an Otsuka Lotec, it kind of can be considered the first Jiro Katayama, as you can see from the branding on the dial. The 278 parts movement has been completely designed, crafted and assembled by Katayama himself in this very workshop, and because of how intensive its production is, only one per year can be made. The manual wound in-house movement is named Caliber SSGT, short for Sushi Geta, the wooden plate on which sushi is served. This name has been chosen to evoke the image of layers of complications being served on the main plate like sushi. This incredible in-house movement is all fit within a 48 by 30mm case, 13mm thick, carved from a block of 316L stainless steel with a gentle curvature to hug the wrist comfortably. The solid caseback has a beautiful striping decoration that perpendicularly contrasts with the usual straight graining, but don't worry, you will be able to admire the movement from the curved custom sapphire crystal on the front. The watch comes with a custom 26mm calfing strap that attaches under the case, invisible while on the wrist. The front of the watch only has Latin engravings reading Jiro Katayama and Power, but on the back you will find Jiro Katayama, Tokyo, Japan on the top, and Cal SSGT and carefully made in the Otsuka workshop on the bottom. It has 30 meters of water resistance and 40 hours of power reserve. What can I say about the number 9 that hasn't already been said? It's amazing. As long as you like this mechanical industrial style, it has everything you could ask for. Uniquely executed high-end complications from a new in-house movement, a one-of-a-kind design, historical importance, textures, vibrations, sounds, and more. Katayama said that for this piece, it was mainly inspired by Japanese induction electric meters, where you can admire all the different mechanical parts moving at once. Other inspirations include vacuum tubes, camera viewfinders, and even industrial cityscapes. It almost looks like something out of an alternative dystopian steampunk future, and it is beautiful. Unfortunately for me, it is also understandably out of my price range. The number 9 cost 17,600,000 yen, around 112,000 US dollars, a totally different ballpark compared to the other Otsuka Lotec pieces. But as Jiro Katayama's first namesake watch, this is likely to become an important piece of Japanese horological history. So as you have seen, Otsuka Lotec makes some really interesting and beautiful watches. But how can you actually buy one? Well, the main way is obviously directly from the brand. But at the moment these watches are so popular that they would sell out immediately. To address this, the brand has introduced a raffle system. During the raffle registration period, which varies depending on the model, check Otsuka's website for more info, you will submit your name with a deposit. After a few weeks, if you have been randomly selected, you will then pay the outstanding fee and receive your watch. If you don't win the raffle, don't worry, you get your money back. Now, the painful bit. Unfortunately for the majority of you, for the time being, these are sort of JDM watches, exclusive to the Japanese domestic market. In order to apply, you will need a local Japanese credit card and address. I have spoken to the brand about this, and they told me it has been done for convenience and logistic reasons. Even with these limitations, demand for Otsuka Lotec far outstrips supply, so they don't really need to complicate their operations with international shipping, worldwide clients, etc. Hopefully in the future, if they manage to maintain their quality while increasing supply, we will be able to get them from anywhere. Taking this into consideration, the only other way to get an Otsuka Lotec is from the grey market. You will find quite a few on Chrono24 and even in second-hand watch shops across Tokyo. However, as you will see, these tend to go for quite a premium, up to 3 times retail, so if I was you, I would not go this route. So, what should you do? Honestly, if you don't live in Japan, I would recommend you wait a few years. Hopefully by then, the hype will have died down a little, and with global shipping, we will all be able to get our desired Otsuka Lotec directly from the brand.
こんにちは、大塚ローテックの片山です。ここが私の大塚の工房で、いろいろ試作とか部品の生産をしております。アルベルトさん、今日はお越しいただいてありがとうございます。